Hello, and welcome to episode 153 of the Omnivore Podcast. I am Sadie. I will be your host, also known as Blue Ruin on Ravelry, and Sadie Ruin on Twitter and Instagram, where you can also find me, and multiple pictures of my pets. I'm going to adjust you up a little here. I'd rather you stare at the top of my head than at my bosom. My bosom. Although I do have a new bra, so maybe you do want to look at my bosom. I don't know. The thing is, they die eventually, and if you're a big girl with big girl issues, you do not get those cute little bras. Occasionally I will find a very cheap bra. Occasionally I get that $10 Squee Fest, but for the most part it's really expensive. So, yeah. But I found one on sale, and then I got extra money off, and it made me happy. So my bra didn't cost $1 million. Oh, first world problems, right? Ain't nobody in the third world going, dude, my bras are too expensive. But there you have it. So, this week is probably not going to be an exceptionally long show. I don't have that much to show you. I'm going to be honest, it's been a busy week in all kinds of ways, not related to knitting. Although I did get some knitting done during the hockey games I've been watching. I saw, what was it, Saturday, the hubby and I went to see The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which was very good. My phone is beeping, I'm sorry. And I didn't know if they could get someone to play the Green Goblin properly after Willem Dafoe. We're just going to pretend that James Franco didn't exist. Frank. See, they're not allowed in this room without supervision, so as soon as I'm in here, they're all up in my grill. Petrie has left her spot, but I did Instagram a picture of her sitting on my colorfiction because she was like, I had opened the door to grab the mail, because I'm going to the mail right after this, which has the last 5 winners. So if you have not received something from me for winning, I apologize. It's taken me forever, but they're on their way out today. I'm going to the mail after I finish recording, and this is doing its thing on the computer. Yeah, I know, it's May. It took me forever. I'm a bad podcaster. I hope everyone forgives me. Life happened. Life happened and it smacked me. It smacked me good. 2014 is not my year. 2015 will be. But 2014 and I, we're on shaky ground right now. As are me and the Navy. But we won't talk about that. We are under a month until hubby is gone. And so, aside from the fact that my stress level keeps going up, the things that need to be done are still up here, and they are not going down. So, he has the procrastination gene, which I normally have too. I am usually quite procrastinate-y. Trust me, in my family, it's an art form, and we all have it. Except when big things happen, I need to micromanage it down so that I don't freak out. So, of course, I'm like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I need to do this. You need to do this. We need to do this. And his first problem was giving me the booklet. The fact that there's a booklet. I have read that. I have the booklet memorized. But there's like 12 things you need to do before you go. I'm like, we have not done all 12 of these things. They're less than a month, and we do not have all of these 12 things done. I need this information, and this information, and this information. I don't know. My personal favorite is when he goes, my mom knows how to do that. Well, I'm sure your mother does. And I'm sure I can call her and text her, and I will get the information. But I'm saying, write it down on a piece of paper for me right now, so if I really need it, and it's like midnight or something, I have the ability to do that. Because I don't want to call and wake your mother up at midnight. She works early. See, logic. Logic would say, write this stuff down. No. I have a little booklet, though. I'm going to make it right in the booklet. I've got all... Like, seriously, this whole thing... Well, not this whole thing. There's some stuff in the back that doesn't make any sense to me, but for the most part, this thing, it's like the go-to thing. I'm going to have to put this in like a lockbox or something because it's got all the info in it. Lockbox. Who the heck is coming here? Jack's coming here. Jack is not a threat. Besides, if I'm not here, that's going with me because I still need that information. Anywho. So that's been my week. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and belatedly because it was yesterday. My mother's gift is going to be a Mother's Day birthday joint thing. And she knows this. Although I'm a bad daughter, I didn't send a card or an e-card or anything, but I did text, FaceTime, and call. So, but I love my mother, and you should love your mother too. And fur babies count in my world, this world that I live in. If you have the fur babies, you are also a mother. Happy Mother's Day to you too. People who have actually pushed forth a child from their loins are probably looking at me like I'm insane. But hey, I was up all last night with a panting, freaking out dog because of the thunderstorms. So don't tell me I'm less of a mother. It was like having a colicky child, really. Like, I mean, there was no consoling him. All you could do was hold him and rock him and try and calm him down. So don't tell me. If you've got, shove it in the back of your mind, because that's not going to work with me. It'll work with a lot of people, but don't make me put up the pregnant women are smug video again. Just saying. So, yeah. What else did I do this week? I did a lot of warping and stuff. There was an update that took away a fair chunk of time. There's one seashore remaining. So, if you're always I always get paranoid when I'm stalking something that I'm going to miss some. Yeah, well, the Gothic Rainbow went poof. Like, that was poofed well 10 minutes in. But there's still a seashore hanging on. So if you're still looking for yarn, there you go. Always double check. So, what did I work on? The Epic Blanket. The Epic Blanket is what is... Seriously? Okay. I asked a question of someone right beforehand, and she's very helpful, and I love her to death. And she's texting me back, so that's awesome. But I should have silenced it. I'm sorry, I'm a bad podcaster. You still love me. Hold on, I'll silence it. There. There, now it won't ping. And I won't look over. Because every time it pings, I look over. One of them is like a Twitter update where it's like, I don't know how to turn those bloody updates off. They bug the crap out of me. If you know how to turn off the weird Twitter updates, and not the ones where someone's favorited or something, but the ones where it's like, and today in Twitter news, blah, 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 blah. I don't fucking care. I'm sorry. Anywho, Twitter, bug me. So the Epic Blanket has taken over my life. And again, bra strap. It's a new bra. There's going to be bra strap problems. There's always bra strap problems because my shoulders are not up here. If they were up here, I would have a secondary chin, but they would also not fall down. But because I have like slopey shoulders, even when I am not heavy, which I am right now because I'm, eating all my problems, even when I'm not as heavy as I currently am, I still have the slopey shoulders. It's my hardcore genes, man. But the Epic Blanket has taken over my life. Because this has to be done, and we are under a month, which means not only do I have to, yarn update and stuff, but I have to finish this blanket. So, I sewed together row 7, 8, and 9. I think it goes this way. No. This way. So, 7, 8, and 9 have been themed together. The ends are pretty much woven in. I think there's one or two I have to clip at the back. Where's the back? I did get a question on how I was joining these, so I'm going to show you really briefly. I use this side. There's a good side. I am mattress stitching them all together, and then weaving in the ends on the back side, so to add extra strength to the joins. But I'm getting a fair amount of tug out of it because, you mattress stitch. But so basically the same way you would join a sleeve to a body or body pieces together. Gives you a nice clean seam on the outside and this little bumpy one on the back. I don't think the bumpy one's going to be problematic. They're not particularly harsh. And as it grows older, as it ages, like a fine wine, they'll still retain their sturdiness. I don't know. The seams don't really bug me as a person. If you're really tactile, if tactility was a problem for you, I'd recommend crocheting on the outside. But tactility doesn't really bug me. The feel, if you will. The seams will go down with wear. They'll smish in, just like any worn seam will. So 7, 8, and 9 have been seamed together. I'm going to 11. So I have 2 more rows to knit and seam in, and then I will block this piece and attach it to the previous piece. The previous piece which has been seamed and blocked. So, which means I have 14 squares left. Well, I did. Now I have 13 because I finished one watching a game last night. This is I got this from Jack, I believe. This is just. And now I have to be really conscious about which ones I'm knitting because I have to follow my color scheme. So purple, I need 2 purples. There's a purple. Purple nurple. It had to be said. So I have 13 and I have the edging. And I've had a lot of help in the edging department and I've discussed the edging. An I-cord would probably be the easiest. But I have a problem with I-cords when I knit them in that I make them very tight. And I want this blanket to grow. Like, it's grown as it's been blocked, and I want it to continue to grow. I want it to be warm and enveloping. I want it to be like a hug. So I really don't want to put the I-cord on there because knowing me, even if I like go up 2 needle sizes and I skip or I do every stitch and blah blah blah, it's still going to pull it in and then it's going to have this weird poof effect, and I'm not sure I want that. So the other 2 options I've been looking into, one is a knitted on edging, which may actually kill me because let's face it, it's a long way around, so I will probably end up doing tandem knitting, where I have more than one needle on the go, but one string of continuous yarn, just because otherwise it's not going to get done quickly. Like, I have to think about quickly, I have to think about how I want it to be, and that's going to give it room to grow, right? Like, if I knit the edging on, the edging is going to work out. So probably log cabin on. A few rows have got just a couple, like 4 or 8 or something. I haven't decided yet. It's going to be like, what will kill me and what will not kill me. But hopefully by next week I can show you at least another row. I'd like to have both rows done. Ultimately, and I did the math, once this is all done without the edging, it's going to be like 46,000 yards. Or 4,600 yards. Just for the blanket itself. So I'm pretty much done. I'll be pretty much done the stash dash once this is done. But having said that, it needs to get done in a timely fashion. So I will probably tandem knit. The garter edge on, I'll probably go up to like a 3. Because I've been knitting this on, I believe, a 2.25 or 2.5. Either way, I will go up to a 3 for the edging. I'm just going to use Patton's Croy in black. I have a couple skeins. If I need to go get more, that's not a problem. It's cheap, it's washable, that's what I need. So, hopefully I can show you another finished row next week. maybe 2. But who knows? Because I'm dying like a crazy fool right now. Because my theory is I don't actually want to go bat crap crazy in June preparing for SSK, because I've got the fleeces to get ready for the class I'm teaching. I've got stuff to get ready for the drum carding class I'm teaching, the class materials, and the dyeing for the vending. So I am pretty much under the conclusion that I won't sleep in July. I don't want to go too crazy in June, so I've started dyeing now, which is good, but because I've never vended before, I don't really know what colors to take. I know which are the popular ones, and I've really gotten a lot of help from my fellow dyers, particularly Miss another crafty girl who's awesome, who've really told me, not to stress out. You can only take what you can take. So that's been that. I have not done any spinning. I have done more fleece processing. My bag is quite full. It's the second bag number 2. And yeah, I'm probably going to spin the similar colors together. I'm starting to get more into the dark colors. I'm starting to get more into the dark colors. Hold on a sec. And since all of you love hearing about my my adventures in processing, I did have a question, which was, my tips still look dirty after I've washed them. Why is that? Well, first of all, you should fluff out your tips a little when you're prepping them in. It is not uncommon to have a little bit of dirty tippy. See, before I flick it out, the tips look dirty. And in some cases, for the most part with this one, it's sun bleaching on the brown. The brown is sun bleached. Let's see if you can see that. See right in these guys, they've got that little bit of brown there. That's not actually dirty, that's sun bleached. And sun bleached tips happen because, well, they're out in the sun. And sometimes there's a little extra dirt. If it's not too noticeable, like this is completely acceptable to me because it will be flicked out, it will be drum carded out, and if it's a brittle tip, it'll break off. So I'm just going to take my fluffing tool and give it a little fluff and show you the difference. Okay, so before it looked really disgusting on the ends. Well, after you flick, and as you can see in the top of my brush there, it's pulled out some of the tipping and a little bit of veg. Any leftover veg. Some veggies are really hard in there, so it's going to come out in the carding process more so than in the wash. If it's really hard in there, if you have a really dirty fleece, first of all, more power to you. I'm not that crazy anymore. I have been, but there's just so much processing that needs to go into a dirty fleece. I tend to be really picky about how much veg matter I'm willing to put up with now. But as you can see now, after flicking the tips, the sun bleaching is really gone. The tips, the gunk that was in the tips has come out. It ends up in your flicker brush more than it ends up in your fiber. And yeah, so if it looks a little dirty when you're done washing, like that, if that's the level of dirt you see when you're done washing, just flick it out. And that is a lot of the purpose to the way I do it, because I want to get as much of that out as possible. So if after it dries you've got that little bitty bit, as you can see, there's still a little bit of sun bleach to the tops. It's not going to hurt anything. It's going to blend out. There you have it. So this is the bag I'm currently working on. This is what you saw on top of my drying rack last week. That's how much was up there. Fills up this bag. I don't know how big this bag is. Probably a half pound in here, maybe quarter pound. No, maybe a pound. Between 8 and 16 ounces. It's hard to say. And so, yeah, that's what I'm working on. I got another couple logs done. bats, mini bats, if you will, this week, because I just wanted to hang out and chill and be in my yarny ways. So that is awesome. It's pretty much all I've got. It's all I've been up to. Hopefully I have more to show you next week, and I hope everyone had a great week. I hope everyone has a great week coming up.